Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Krishna. I asked him to come on because he was talking about cognitive dissonance, and I was like, hey, I was planning on doing a stream on cognitive dissonance anyway. So I'm like, hey, you want to come on? And he's like, sure. I don't know if he forgot or, you know, shit happens, and I understand that. So anyway, um, alrighty. So how is everyone today? um, Before we get started, I would like to say go ahead and thumbs up this stream if you want to. Leave a comment down below when I'm finished. And, if you have the financial wherewithal, and only if you have the financial wherewithal, please consider becoming a member. It really helps me. And right now I'm quite anxious about how I'm going to live, and all that. I have enough right now, but that's not going to always be the case. So, it'd be cool if you think about it. Okay. So I guess the best place to start would be, what is cognitive dissonance? And I know most of my viewers already know what cognitive dissonance is. But, for those of you who may not know, it's basically holding two separate beliefs at the same time. And so we've got, okay, so the biggest example I can think of is God is love, but God sends people to hell. That's the biggest example I can think of. There are other, examples, but that's the biggest one I can think of right now. So, you believe God is love, but you also believe that God sends people to hell. And yes, he does send people to hell. So you've got to try to make these beliefs work, even though they are clearly not compatible. You have to try to excuse me. You have to try to make these things work. So there are a few ways to do this, One, you can get rid of your cognitive dissonance by jettisoning one of the beliefs. Either God isn't love or there is no hell. And that just totally wipes away cognitive dissonance. And you don't have the cognitive dissonance anymore on that one topic, right? Okay. So that's one way to deal with cognitive dissonance. The other way is going through hoops, going through a lot of mental gymnastics. And this is what fundies do, especially with the hell belief. They believe God is love, but they also believe that God sends people to hell. So that doesn't jive. So they have to find a way to make it work. So one of the things they do is they say, no, God doesn't send anybody to hell. You send yourself to hell by not believing in Jesus. My question is your God all-knowing? And they would say yes. The Christian God is all-knowing. Okay, all right. So if your God is all-knowing, then your choice is already made for you. It is set in stone, whether or not you believe in Jesus or not. Okay, let me say that again. If your God is all-knowing, then every decision, not just the decision to accept or reject Jesus, is set in stone and cannot be changed. Because if your decision can be changed, then your God is not all-knowing. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So, yes, if you want to believe in an all-knowing God, you have to believe that he sends people to hell if you hold the hell belief. Okay? That's as simple as it gets. That's as simple as it gets. This is not hard, people. This is not hard. Yes, that would be the Calvinists, Selena. This is not hard. And Selena is right in pointing out that the Calvinists believe that God predestined some people to hell. Yeah, it's pretty all-loving God, huh? Uh-huh. But while we're on the hell topic, let me ask you this. First of all, okay, let me make this abundantly clear, especially if Otangelo comes in. And I'm going to repeat this if Otangelo does come in. Let me make this abundantly clear. And by the way, Otangelo, I think Otangelo's just misguided. Okay? Don't block him. Don't, you know, just be nice to him if he comes in here, okay? Just be nice to him. He's just misdirected, okay? But I don't believe in God. I don't not believe in a God. I'm what's called an agnostic atheist. But I don't believe in God. And so Otangelo's going to say, well, God's going to send you to hell then. Well, why? Because I hurt his little feelings. Your God's not very all powerful if he can't handle some hurt feelings. Okay? Your God's not all powerful if he can't handle some hurt feelings. And he's not all powerful if he can't get rid of hell. Okay? Makes no sense. This hell thing makes no sense. Not only because I'm picking it apart right here and now, okay, but because, and Tangelo, listen to this very carefully, the Bible never says anything about hell. You think it does because you've been brainwashed into thinking that way. But read the Bible. Nowhere does it say that there is an eternal torture chamber. Nowhere. Okay? Nowhere. So I guess I'll start talking about my deconversion process. And please know I didn't know this was going on when it was happening. But I first had that cognitive dissonance. God is love and hell. That's not talking about hell, Selena, because death and hell are thrown in the lake of fire. So if the lake of fire encompasses hell, and hell is just the grave, okay? It's not what Christians think it is. It's just the grave. So in other words, what it's saying, what Revelation is saying is that death is going to be tossed into the lake of fire. And, and death will be no more. Not that I agree with that, I mean, we always want a utopian society, right? I mean, it's been our dream, right? And we try to make a utopian society. People have always been trying to make a utopian society. But it doesn't work, And we can't count on a supernatural being to save us. Yeah, exactly. Like the Hellenistic belief, you know, they just go down there and chill out, But I think the one thing that makes hell I think what makes the threat of hell so appealing to preachers is that They can't keep in their sheeple any other way. No, I haven't, Selena. They can't keep in their sheeple any other way. Because if the threat of hell, if the threat of eternal torment is gone, how many people are going to stay? Come on, babe. Not yet, Math Pig. Not yet. Still waiting on him. So I'm just putting in some filler material, hoping he'll show up. And if he doesn't, then, he said he would, but maybe he just forgot, or maybe he got sick. I don't know. Thank you. Her name's Callie. She's Paul Wynn. Nevermore. That's because they threaten you with, they basically hold your family and friends hostage. If you do leave the Jehovah's Witness faith, they hold your family and friends hostage. Literally. Your family and friends are not allowed to talk to you if you leave the faith. Okay, Math Pig. Yeah, I get that. Can you get in touch with him? So anyway, so that's the major thing, J-dubs are coming out, because they realize that being in the cult isn't conducive to anybody's health, so they are trickling out, but the vast majority of them stay, not because they believe in any of that bullshit, but because hang on, I'm reading Math Pig. Okay, I got your Math Pig. So anyway, so that's their threat, because the JWs are annihilationists. Like, they don't, like, if you don't accept the JW faith, then you're just annihilated. You're just like, before you were born, you, didn't exist. And after you're dead, you don't exist. That's annihilationism. And the J-dubs are annihilationists when it comes to the unbelievers. You know, the believers, of course, most of them are going to be on earth. Only 144,000 will get to heaven. No, Krishna. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's basically why I think, and I don't know, I haven't asked them. And if I did ask them, they'd probably say, well, no, it's not that. It's because it's true, you know? And then you got to say, yeah, how do you know it's true? Well, because it's in the Bible. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not in the Bible. You made that shit up. Just like you make up a lot of the shit that you say is in the Bible. Really isn't in the Bible. Biblical literalists are not really biblical literalists. I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that right now. But they're really not biblical literalists. They read so much into the Bible that it's not even funny. But anyway, they basically want to scare the ever-loving mess out of their people so that their people will stay. Oh, yeah. And, let's see, 1875, that was another one. You know, they've got so many failed prophecies behind them. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah, me too, nevermore. I could never do that. Never. And, you know, that's what cults do. That's what cults do. Cults tear families apart. I didn't think religion was supposed to tear families apart. Which is why I don't know, you remember that saying of Jesus, you know, man's enemies shall be those of his own household and yada, yada, yada. You know, I haven't come to send peace but a sword. That is in direct opposition to the messianic prophecies because according to Tanakh, the messianic age will be an age of peace. They will beat their plows, they will beat their swords into plowshares. It's on the UN, literally. That verse is in Isaiah. I can't remember where right now, but it's in Isaiah. So anyway, but yeah, um, I'm not getting on the Jesus was not the Messiah bandwagon right now either. I want to stay with the hell topic. Kind of running out of things to say though, you know. It doesn't make any sense that if you are loved by an all-powerful God, yeah, yes, he did. And that's not what the Messiah is supposed to do. The Messiah is supposed to usher in an age of peace. But like I said, that's for another day. If you were loved by an all-loving, all-powerful God, why would he send you to a place called hell? You know? Now, if it was like the annihilationist bit, or if it was like even the Greek, even the Greek idea of hell doesn't really bother me because it's not a place of torment, you know? Yeah, but you wonder how it got to this point. I really, really wonder how it got to this point, Selena. And, hopefully, I'm not going to get too political because I'm not very political, okay? I'm not exactly apolitical, but you guys know, most of you know what's been happening in the United States. And I think it's really the downfall of the Republican Party. I really do think so. I think that the Republicans have just shot themselves in the foot. And, the death nail's coming. That's what I see for them. Yeah, yeah, right, Krishna. Um, you know, another thing they read into um the Bible is that Jesus is God. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that Jesus is God. Nowhere. That's an interpolation. The earliest manuscripts. Oh, okay. The earliest manuscripts don't have his followers claiming that he was God, you know. And anyway, and let me ask you this while I'm on the topic. While I'm on this topic, how is it that most of the canon of the New Testament is anonymous? I think I brought this up on Sunday in Atheist Church. Um, let's hope so, Selena. Let's hope so. Um, where was I? I don't know. Somebody tell me where I was, please. I'm sorry. I just blanked out there for a minute. No, I'm serious. I did. I just blanked out. Have no idea where I was going. Oh, um, why is it that most of the New Testament canon is anonymous? If you ask most Christians, they're going to say Matthew wrote Matthew. Mhm. That's what they're going to say. Mark wrote Mark. Luke wrote Luke. John wrote John. And they were disciples and eyewitnesses of Christ and blah, 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 blah. They're going to tell you that. Most Christians will tell you that. But they weren't written those were labels slapped on them later, probably. And I don't want to put everything at his feet, but he did a lot of damage. Eusebius. I'm betting that was Eusebius's doing. It might not be. And, you know, like I said, Eusebius did a lot of shitty things. Um, but, if he didn't slap on the labels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, I don't want to slap him with that burden. Yeah, exactly, Nevermore, exactly. Um, so, you know, and then most of the letters that have been attributed to Paul, of the 13, I think only 6 can be genuinely attributed to Paul. The rest were pseudo-epigraphas, which in that time, it wasn't really um, illegal to do that in that day and age. So, that's okay. But we now know that 7, I think, are pseudo-epigraphas. Why? Why do they have so much New Testament bullshit that is anonymous? And some researchers agree with you, Selena. Some researchers, it depends. I mean, it's hard to date them because we don't have um, the originals anymore. We just don't. We have copies of copies of copies of copies of copies of copies of copies and copies and copies, but we don't have the original. I believe you're right, Selena. I believe you're right. So why are they in the New Testament to begin with? I don't know. It's a good question. Guess they got to have something, right? If they only had authenticated shit in the New Testament, they'd only have 6 books, the 6 letters of Paul. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So let's just imagine ourselves back when they were putting the canon together. What were they thinking? What was the criteria for which books got in? I mean, clearly there were authentic books that didn't get in, and then we have anonymous books that did get in. So what was their criteria? Was it just we already know what we believe, so we're only going to put shit that backs us up in the New Testament? Is that it? Well, in that case, Paul didn't back up the Trinity. There's nowhere in the fucking Bible that you can find the Trinity. And I'm talking about in the New Testament specifically. There's definitely no verse in Tanakh where you can find the Trinity. But specifically in the New Testament, there's no fucking book that backs the doctrine of the Trinity. Criteria of popularity. There you go. You know, it makes me sad that 2 billion people have been brainwashed into this religion. And yeah, there are people that are coming out of it, you know. Like Selena, I have heard, I'm not going to say this, I'm not going to assert this, but I have heard that in Europe there are more cultural Christians than people who actually are Christian. Um, you know, they say they are, but you look at them, they don't go to church, you know, they don't, that's just what I've heard. I can't assert or deny that, but that's what I've heard. Um, so it's probably not 2 billion. Okay. Um, it's just so sad to see people who dedicate their entire lives to this lie. And I was one of them. For a long time, I was one of them. And I guess that's one of the reasons I run this channel. I want to get the message out. Christianity is a lie. Christianity is a lie. She's moving a little bit, Zebra. Not yet, Zebra. I'm trying to fill time to let him get in here. But like I said, I'm not really filling time. This is more like what I plan to do with Richard. Maybe going in another direction because I like my conversations to be organic. I actually like my live streams to be organic, to tell you the truth. You know, not pre-planned or anything. Just have an idea, you know, and see where it goes. You know, that's basically my live stream formula. Is, you know, have a general idea of where I want to go with the live stream and then see where it goes from there. So, anyway, um, yeah, Logic asked me about hell when I had him on my channel. Okay, Selena. Um, and he asked me if I was still afraid of hell or something like that. Can't remember exactly what. Go watch the live stream with Logic if you haven't already. Um, and you know, I told Logic, I said, well, no, because maybe I never really believed it to begin with. And see, this is the problem, right? This is the problem. And I'm being real with you. Okay. People don't really think about their beliefs. Not really. Okay. Tux, his name is Tux, the black one. His name's Tux. And she's Callie. And yes, they're both fixed. But anyway, this is the problem. People don't really think about their beliefs. Yeah, tuxedo, tux for short. They just believe what they've been told to believe. And this is the problem I ran up against when I was first starting college. What do I believe? Me, personally, what do I believe? Not what does my mom believe, what does my dad believe? And believe me, my mom and dad had wildly different beliefs, you know. But we never really did talk about that. Um, but you know what? This is okay. If you are religious, and I'm not just talking to the Christians here, I'm talking to all religious people here. Okay. If you are religious, you have to think, or you don't have to, you should think to yourself, what do I believe? What do I believe? Not what does my mom believe? What does my dad believe? What do my grandparents believe? What did my great grandparents believe? That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. Figure out what you believe. You. Take away all the indoctrination, no matter what you've been indoctrinated into. Take away all the indoctrination. What do I believe? That's the only thing that matters. What you believe. Not what your pastor told you to believe. Not what mommy and daddy want you to believe. The only thing that matters is what you believe. And some religious people have gone through this process. Not really enough, but some of them have. Yeah, some of them have. I'm not going to say otherwise. Some of them have. Some of them have changed religions because of it. I've got no problem with that. Your beliefs change. Your beliefs should change. If you've got some new evidence that says this belief is not true, then yeah, you definitely should change the belief that is based on an untrue fact, or the belief that that new fact counteracts. So yeah, but this is what they do not want you to do. Listen to me very carefully, especially the Christians out there. They do not want you thinking about what you believe. They want to dictate what you believe. They want to dictate what you believe. And that is not a good way to go. That is not a good way to go. Because you know what? If we've got people dictating what other people believe, we end up with Jonestown, Heaven's Gate. That is the destination of letting people dictate your beliefs. It's very dangerous place to be, very precarious place to be. So figure out what you believe. And if you go to church, I'm not saying anything if you go to church or not. I don't really care. Okay? If you go to church and your pastor or your priest or whoever is telling you what to believe, you need to get out of there. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to make your own decision. Okay? I'm not going to pester you about getting out of there, all right? I'm not going to pester you. You're going to make up your own mind. But if you're letting others dictate your beliefs, You're in a bad position. Okay, Math Pig. Thank you. Um, I mean, there's like a whole bunch of shit that I can get into on the topic of letting other people dictate your beliefs. But, hey, Lisa. But I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Nope, not going there. So, been on here about 51 plus minutes, and Richard hasn't shown up yet. Um, Maybe he forgot. I don't know. Um, but you know, that's fine. That's fine. You know, we'll get him sometime. I'll get him sometime. You know. Um, he was just talking about cognitive dissonance, and like I said, I had already had this show planned, so you know, inviting somebody on was just like, hey, you want to come on? You know, because he was talking about it. And like I said, I'd already planned on doing it. So, um, but yeah, ask yourself, what do I believe? Don't let anybody dictate your beliefs. All right, guys. I'm actually going to go because I actually have nothing else to say. Gee, I'm actually going to shut up for once. All right, guys. Have fun. Don't forget to like the stream, leave comments down below. If you have the financial wherewithal to join the channel, you can join for as little as 99 cents a month. The debunk is up for my members. It will come out tomorrow for everybody. Have a nice day, everyone, and I'll catch you later. Bye.